Here at Gundam Planet, we're all about knowing where our loyalties lie, and if you know me, I have always been about the Iron Cavalry Squadron. I have always known what that is, and I have been a strong supporter of it since as long as I can remember. So that's why when they announced that they were finally giving the Iron Cavalry Squadron the justice it deserves by bringing it this model kit, I had to review it and I had to build it. And it doesn't help, well, it does help that this is the Guncannon. Sorta. I love me some Guncannon. Guncannon is one of my favorite things in the universe, and this is like a reimagining of him with claw hands and one less cannon. So like that's neat, and I definitely think he's really cool. And the claw hands are weird, so let's just do this. Let's take a look. First things first, got his shield here. He's got like a riot shield, which is cool, and this is stuck, and I hate it, but this riot shield thing is really cool. I like it a whole bunch. And you got some feet there, and I know this is just how model kits are made, and all of our reviews we keep going on about the soft plastic, but this is just how the kits are made these days, and it's just so nice. It feels great all the time, and I love it. And these colors are great. Got this nice, I don't even know how to describe this gray. It's almost got like a purple tint to it, and I think it's really cool. You got his claw boys right there. This maybe the first Gundam model I ever built that doesn't have your standard mobile suit hands. So like that's kind of neat. Polycaps, pretty unexciting standard polycaps. Here you got your like more blue gray as opposed to the purple gray. I guess it's more like a gray blue. I don't know. It's cool. I like it a lot. You got some nice fine details on this plastic here, and a lot more part separation than you would normally get. And you know, I built a couple of these Origin kits, and they have impressed me every time, and I'm glad to continue to see that they are improving and continuing to impress me, which is always good, because sometimes I feel like high grades can get a little stale, but, you know, look at this stuff, man. This is really cool. Got a lot of nice detailing, a lot of, like, you got this engraved piping going on here, like, that's definitely showing them going above and beyond your standard high-grade technology. And you got your guns and your cannon there, which, you know, looks good enough. And then last but not least, you got the stand, which a few different high grades come with this kind of stand, where I'm glad that they included it, and it does its job, and, you know, it saves you the money buying an action base, so I think that's good. And then you got big sheet of sticker decals for this guy. Will I do them all? Probably not. Should you? I don't know. If you feel like it. They're cool. Got some Earth Federation logos. Got some of that Iron Cavalry Squadron. Got my boys. You decal up with my boys right there. Got a whole bunch of different numbers. Got some flourishings to put around the parts. All very cool. Definitely good inclusion. And then we got our manual right here. You know, open up that manual. And there you go. You know, just in case you didn't know that's the right arm, they put it in really, really big text. You know, so you'll never not know which part you're building now that it does that. So anyway, guys, I'm going to build my boy, the Guncannon here, and we're going to see what it's all about. Alright, so here's the new Guncannon boy in all of his bluish glory, and it was pretty good. The build is nothing really to write home about. I did it, you know, real quick. Wasn't complicated, wasn't difficult, just kind of, it all went together nicely, but it was kind of just, like, unremarkable, I'd say, because I didn't really feel like I did anything super cool when I put it together. But the finished product is really nice and, like, speaks for itself. It's a really neat design, definitely a more, like, militaristic sort of Guncannon, and it really shows. And there's a couple good things about it, some not so good things about it, but let's bring it on in and we'll talk about it. Alright, so here he is up close, and, you know, as you can see, like I said right before, he's a good-looking man. Real quick, I want to talk about the stuff you get with it. So, first things first, you get two different cannon parts for the Guncannon man. You get the missile pod over here, and then you get this, the more standard-looking cannon thing. And what's really cool about this cannon that I just want to point out is it's got a little piston thing going on here, which is really cool. You know, not that complicated, but it gives it a nice little effect, and it articulates when you put it in there, and then you can move it up and down like that. He also has a Gatling gun that sits in his shoulder right here, so that's neat. A nice, subtle little effect going here. Next up, you got the shield, which is a cool little, like, ride shield kind of thing. Real neat. And it pretty easily just goes into his, like, grabber over there and pops right in, and no problems on there, real nice. Last but not least, you got the gun, which comes with a special grabber just to hold on to the gun, and It's a pretty cool. It's a little machine gun. But this is a great opportunity to talk about his little claws, grabbers, hands, whatever you want to call them. They're neat and they look cool, but they have like pretty much like one major flaw is that they don't want to stay together super well. Like the gun, it has like a peg in there, and the gun pegs in, and like theoretically it'd be real secure, but for whatever reason, these two pieces that make up the grabber, and this is a problem with just all the hands, it's just like, it's not a very secure connection, and if you accidentally like knock the gun out of place, it's real easy to like pop them right off, and it was getting really frustrating when I was messing around with it and trying to pose it and whatever, so definitely worth pointing out. But it is good that you get the extra hand just for the gun, so you can cement the gun right into place in that hand at no problem. Same thing with all the other hands. There's no reason why you couldn't cement these pieces together. Nothing stopping you from doing that, because like you can see here, the shield just slides into the grabber just like that. No issues. So highly recommend doing that. If you do that, that's one big problem that you can quickly avoid. So that's all the accessories. You know, nothing too spectacular, but they're all good. What they include is great. So let's just move on to the articulation right now. So like I said, the cannon moves up and down. Good. The head the head can move, but it's one of these boys that has like these big collars next to the head. So you see that on some of these mobile suit guys, and it definitely impedes the movement of the head, but not a big deal. You're not going to do too much with the head anyways. As far as the shoulders go, you get a pretty standard swing out joint on the shoulders, so they come in and out like that. Very nice. Good double bend, double joint in the elbow, so that goes all the way up, and nothing stopping you from moving it all over the place. Very good. The grabbers are on a very simple ball joint. Spin them around, do whatever you want with them, no problems. Waist is nice. You got a couple different joints going on in the waist, so you get a pretty decent ab crunch forward, a little bit going back, nothing too crazy, but it's definitely pretty solid for a high grade, and it also moves around no problem. So then, as far as the skirt armor goes, again, always cut your front skirts if you can, move out of the way, and then you can get nice big front kick, and then get this one kind of a little out of the way, and get a pretty decent side kick. Not too much, but, you know, it's good. And then, as far as the back goes, as usual, the back skirts do not move, so you're not going to get much swinging in the back, but the advantage is you get a nice double joint in the knee, so the knee will bend all the way up, and that's real good. You got that leg swivel, no problem, and then the feet are on one joint that connects into a polycap, and they move around pretty much flawlessly, so no complaints there. And you know, as I am with all of these Origin high grades, I'm like super impressed with the articulation. So final thoughts on the first type Guncannon over here is that in the end, is pretty good. There are some things about it that were kind of annoying, and the build was kind of whatever, but like I'm pretty pleased with the end result. And you know, he's a cool looking man, and I'm definitely glad I did it. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Be sure to check out all the other videos we have on this channel. We get new ones on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and we have a huge back catalog of reviews for you to check out. You can check out 2 down on these links in the video right here. And you can also like the video, you can subscribe, and you can drop a comment if you have any questions or just want to say hi, you know, that's cool. And then also be sure to check out our friend Marshsound, who does all the great music you hear in these videos. We have a link to his SoundCloud. He does real good work, so check that out. And as always, guys, I'll see you next time.